absolute savage, but I want you to watch that reciprocal movement, right? You can see actually, remember when I talked about, I've been talking a lot about how the front leg engages with the ground. So as the obliques grab, as you're going into rotation, right? These obliques that run across our body, they actually attach and grab onto that front side of the hip, right? So as we swing and the trunk actually fires, that front leg actually gets leveraged. This is like spinal engine theory, right? Which again, actually goes into that all movements come from the middle of our body and then work outward, right? So that the limbs of our body actually multiply, right? Or increase, right? Amplify what the middle part of the body is doing. So one of the things we kind of talk about too as well is like, again, with that ground reaction forces, right? It's ground reaction. I hit the ground and then the ground reacts back, right? So when I actually sequence from the middle part of my body, this sequencing, when we jump in the air, we can see it so clearly. And this is why, again, like we'll have with a lot of athletes, one of the things I really love about jumping in the air and doing rotational movements is that when you jump in the air, you don't have the ability to push, right? Like laterally, like you can't horizontally push and you can't vertically push, right? So what you can do is when you're creating these torques is you have to work across your body and use your fascial system to anchor, right? So think about it like if we were in space, right? If we were in space, we could still play catch with one another, just like a shortstop jumps in the air and then throws the ball across the diamond at still at a high rate of speed, because they're using the rubber bands, they're using their fascial system, right, to be able to generate this force. So again, from this idea, this is actually why also too, when you see athletes on ice, they move so reciprocally. You'll see this big slap shot and their back foot really slide behind them, their front foot really slide forward, is because they're using this the system as anchor points because they can't use the ground or they can't cheat with the ground. And then someone, a biomechanist once told me, my boy Scott Lynn over with Swing Cat was talking about how the ground hides a lot of sins, right? And what he meant by that, right, is you can use the ground and you could cheat with the ground in a lot of different ways. But when we're in the air, we can't do that, right? We have to use this fascial system. So sometimes we'll have, and like a lot of people have made some crazy comments about when I've done some of this, right? But we'll have athletes jump in the air and hit a ball while they're actually in the air. And we're like, man, I wish I could train players like this all the time. Justin Stone with the Cubs, their hitting director, he actually did this a while back ago where he was like suspended in the air with like a gymnastics a gym where he's suspended in the air and he swung and his lower body's going to go back the opposite way. So this is actually why we came out with farm boards, right? Because I wanted to remove athletes from the ground so that they couldn't compensate, right? They couldn't cheat by pushing from the ground, like, pushing out of their back leg, jumping out of their back leg, or just slamming their front leg into the ground, which again, vertical force, horizontal forces, they're all important. There's a point in the swing. But if we really want to isolate and really work on reciprocal forces and use and isolate and target more so our fascial system, some of this aerial work and also two farm boards are actually a really great solution, which is why we came out with them, and also too why almost every major league organization and hundreds of colleges across the nation have also seen some results with this, and it's something you should check out.